Some. All right. Somebody said it's a little better. Yeah, it's a little cricket, but as long as you can hear me, that's what's important, really. Long as you can hear me, you're good. We're good. Somebody said Eagles Nation. I'm torn between the two. Well, anyway, we'll talk about that another time. All right, appreciate it. Somebody said it's fine. It's fine. Let's go Eagles. I see a bunch of Eagle fans. You know, I would go for the Eagles, but so let me see how can I put this? I like Jalen. I don't like the Eagles fan base at all. And Lamont Wells is an Eagles fan, so of course I don't really want to hear him bragging about the Eagles won. So I'm torn between the two, but I don't want to see Kansas City win. So I don't know, but I do like Hurts. Two black quarterbacks, true. So either way it go, we win. That's how we all guess see black. Well, yeah, whatever. Either way it go, we win. I'll say, in my opinion. So, Jalen used to be a quarterback at Alabama, so I like that. That's the main reason why I do like him. Well, yeah, that's the main one. But anyway, somebody said just have time for me. I feel you. Come on now, Eagle is close to a Falcon. You're right, they are. It's just that I got some friends that are Eagle fans that kind of really get on my nerves, and we go at it. So if the Eagles win, I got to hear their mouth, and that's going to be very difficult for me. So that's what caused me to kind of like, do I really want them to win? But yeah, really, I do. I want the Eagles to win. I'm for it. I'm for it. Somebody said all black everything and Kendrick Lamar. I know that's right. Can we get something? Because they're trying to take everything else away from us. So, we'll talk about that another day too. I got a couple of things that have been holding on the inside. I've been wanting to talk about political stuff, church and politics. It's just so much. Racism. Wow. It's just a lot. It's a lot. But what I came on today to talk about really was somebody said Cowboys. Somebody only second championship for the Eagles. Oh, really? Okay. Cowboy fans. Wow. Cowboys, they got some fans, man. Growing up, that's all they used to wear was those Dallas Cowboys jackets. I can't remember the name of them. And Pittsburgh Steelers. And I'm like, we're from Cincinnati. Mostly everybody in Cincinnati, Pittsburgh fans. I'm like, why? Why? You from Cincinnati. Be for your home team. Like I'm here in Atlanta. Atlanta's my home team. So, but second is Bengals, because that's where I grew up. Anyway, somebody said, get out of here, Cowboy fans. Cowboys coming back. I heard they're coming back next year along with the Falcons. Oh my God. Only Cowboys we acknowledge is Cowboy Carter. Wow. All right. Y'all be easy on the Cowboys for real. Come on, be easy on them. Be easy on them, because everybody give them a hard time. But what I wanted to talk about real quick, and I'm not going to be on here long. We got to walk by faith, not by sight. You're right. All right, Gina, 1602, Falcon fan. Boo for your husband, boo. But Queen Darling, what's up? Queen is on here. Good morning. All right. So what I just want to talk about real quick, Love and Marriage Huntsville. Of course, you guys know my sister is leaving the show. And for me, it was, I was happy and I was saddened at the same time. And I haven't talked to her about this, what I'm talking about right now. So she doesn't know. I don't know if she's on here or not. Hopefully she's not, because I wanted to see it, or you guys tell me later what I'm talking about. But anyway, yeah. So she's not on the show. So I'm really excited and happy because it became a little toxic. For me, I haven't really watched in a couple of years. Like I may watch a scene or two if I know something is going on that I want to see. like if I'm on there, I do want to see how they're going to cut and paste. If I do an appearance, but other than that, I don't really watch because it's just too much. It's just too much negativity, and unfortunately, to see her walk away from something that she birthed, and I kind of heard a couple of people say, because what I do listen to a couple of bloggers every once in a while, just to kind of hear what they talking about, and so I listened to a couple of my favorite ones, and they made some really good points, and I'll listen for a few minutes, and then I get on because it's just too much to even listen to all of the stuff that people have to say, and some is negative and mostly positive, but the negative stuff, that stuff can have an effect on you when it's your family. You know how I have an effect on you guys, and you guys are millimeters. So imagine how it is when you're a family member and you hear certain things. It's like that stuff can set you off. But anyway, so I just wanted to say, and I'm gonna kind of keep looking at my phone, kind of seeing what's going on. I lost my train of thought. But yeah, so I just kind of wanted to give a little bit of feedback. Like I said, it became a little toxic. And one thing that I will say about the show is when Melody and I would do a scene, we're having fun, laughing, cutting up. Just always remember that none of that is what you guys really saw. Is all of that was always cut. Like the last scene I'm gonna just talk about that I did with her. We had a long conversation in the kitchen, cooking, eating, laughing, cutting up. And when you watch, people kept asking me, why you're not saying anything? I'm like, I was talking, but only thing they showed was her doing the talking. They never showed where we were engaged. And that's the problem that I always had. I was like, y'all, give us a chance to warm up. Because you look, I'm not on a show every week. So when I pop in, I need to warm up to get comfortable. And so I was always like, give me a few minutes so we can just let me warm up, and then let us start having our conversation and doing whatever. And then y'all grab it. But they would never do it that way. They would never show us engaged in fun times, having fun. It always was some drama. Ask this question, find out about this. And I'm like, I'm not even interested. I'll talk about that another day too, because I'm going to break it down eventually about how this stuff rolls. But what I do want to talk about is she created the show. It was her vision. And for me, just a quick, small snippet background, which I always like to do. I did radio here in Atlanta back in 96 to about 2006 or 7. No, 2007, I think it was. I was on a radio station here in Atlanta on Sundays playing gospel music. So being on TV is something new, but being in the public eye is not new for me. Being known by people was not new for me at all, because I was known here in the city and in a couple other places, because I did gospel programs in other cities as well, where I was MCing programs and MCing concerts that were recorded for albums. Thanks so much to UB Chase Williams for the opportunity. But my start was gospel music, and I ended up going and getting on the radio because, and I'm giving you all the background to get to where I want to go. I ended up being on the radio station because I met a lady when I was in college by the name of Wandalyn Stokes. Some of you guys may know her. She's on the radio station now, very well known in the gospel community. And so as a college student, I would come to Atlanta and hear her during her show. And I mean, the music was so good. It was like, and her voice was excellent. She was bad, just bad. So I would come to Atlanta and go by Atlanta International Records, where she worked, and get new music that came out. I always wanted to be the first to get gospel music when it came out. So I would get with her and she would give me whatever she had. And so that's how our relationship started. But once I graduated, I wanted to come in and sit on at the radio station with her while she was doing her show. Because when I say heavily into gospel, heavily. Knew every artist, knew the song, background information, where they were from. I slept, I breathed the gospel industry. And so anyway, I would go into the radio station with her and watch her do her thing. And one day she asked me, She said she's going out of town, and would I like to do her show for her while she was gone? So I was like, yes, God, yeah. So anyway, I ended up doing her show, sitting in for her one morning because she was on from 5 to 7. And the show went pretty good. And I think I did it maybe a couple of more times for her. And eventually a slot came open where they were creating another slot from 12 to 3 on Sundays, which was the program that came on after her program. And guess who slid into that position? I did. So I've always thanked Wonderland for the opportunity. And I thanked her publicly, but I've thanked her to so many other people. Whenever the conversation come up, I always bring her up and talk about how I am so indebted to her, how much I'm appreciative to her for giving me that opportunity to do the show, because it's something that I loved and I always wanted to do. And without her, there would not, that possibility and that opportunity would not have happened. Now I can always say, well, you know what? God could have used somebody else to slide me into that position or into a position somewhere else so that I could have done what I did. But, and you're right, Lakeisha, I did. I spoke that thing like way, well, I did a show in college. In college in Tuskegee, I used to pay a radio station for like 2 hours to do a show, and it was early in the morning. It was like 3 o'clock to 4, 3 to 5 or something like that. But I paid them, so I had to go out and get sponsors so that I could have that time slot from 3 to 5. But yeah, I spoke it. I did. I really did. And had God not used her, I'm sure he would have used someone else to get me to where I needed to be. But he used Wonderland Stokes. And so because he used her to open up the door for me, my heart has always been appreciative to her, thankful to her. She just means so much to me because of what she did for allowing me to get that, have that space. So going back to television, Love and Marriage Huntsville. I remember when my sister was talking about doing a show, which was not really Love and Marriage Huntsville. It was about home building and all that. And I was like, go for it, do it. Because I know that if she put her mind to something, it's going to happen. And then I noticed the talent that she has, and she's really gifted. So, you know, her doing what she did with Love and Marriage Huntsville was inevitably going to happen either there or somewhere else. So let's think about it. Carlos King even said that one of his talks he did, he was saying how he saw something in her that was special. And that's how he knew that he was going to work with her. So anyway, she created this. She came up with the idea, Carlos, they worked together or whatever to get it going. And because of her, it opened up a door for me to, you know, to go on television, which is cool, which is fine. It's a nice thing to do. You know how people have on Facebook, the different things you check to see that you've done in life and how many points you get. One was, have you ever been on television? I'm like, yes, I've been on television. Yep, I can check that one. But now that I'm sitting here thinking, I'm like, wait a minute. I was on, anybody remember Electric Company? Kind of like Sesame Street. So in Cincinnati and Lincoln Heights, at my elementary school, me and another student, I think it was Tisha Wimberly. I'm not sure. I think it was Tisha. We were on Electric Company. So I've been on TV before. That was in first or second grade. So TV is not even new to me now that I think about even with that. Going back to TV, Melody and I, our father had a TV station in Tuskegee. So media has always been somewhere along in our family. My dad used to be a DJ, R&B DJ in Tuskegee when he was younger. I don't even know if I was born because it was in Tuskegee, so I had to be born. But when I was a kid, he was a DJ on a radio station. I think it was WBIL in Tuskegee. But anyway, so media, TV, radio, all this stuff has always been a part of our lives, even though I didn't even realize my dad was on the radio until years after I started doing radio. and it came to my attention that, hey, my dad used to do radio as well. Somebody told me that, or he did. But it's just interesting how I ended up doing the same thing that he did. TV, he did TV. Melody was a baby when he was doing, actually, she wasn't even born when his TV station was really hot. And when it got even hotter, then she was born. She's toward the end of the years that the TV station was there. She was a little girl. So we've been exposed to it indirectly into media. But I'm just here to say that for Melody to create the show, it gave me an opportunity to be on television, a nationally syndicated now, but a national show. I appreciate my sister for that opportunity. So this video is for me really to let her know how proud I am of her to have come up with an idea, to see it come to fruition, and not only so that it could bless you financially, but then you brought other people onto the show so that they can be blessed financially. Now, I didn't make a whole lot of money because I just stepped in every once in a while. But even if it was $20, remember that $20 can buy you a meal, or either it can help on a bill. If you got a bill for $100 and you got an extra $20, hey, that helps you out. So no, I didn't make a whole lot of money, but I made something. But I do appreciate her for giving me the opportunity to come on to the show. And, you know, to be seen. I can go to restaurants now and people are like, oh, I know you. I get this all the time. I know you from somewhere. I know you. And I'm like, really? But I never say where, because I don't want them to say, if I say, oh, it's TV, Love It, and they say, oh, I don't watch that show, I never heard of it, mud in my face. So I just play crazy like, oh, I don't know where you may know me from. Oh, really? Okay. And I say, I don't know, maybe job or church, maybe, I don't know. And then they'll go on and sometime they'll figure it out. And I'm like, okay, cool. So, you know, I can go places now and people are like, oh, I know you, Melody's brother, which is cool. I mean, it's nice to, you know, for people to know your name. There's a song that says, on Cheers, everybody want to go where somebody know your name. That's real. Not saying for publicity purposes, but even in life, you want to be around people who do know you and recognize you for whatever it is that you do. So I'm just here to say, I appreciate you, Melody, for what you've done. Now, I don't know about other people because you fed a lot of people. And a lot of people can say, well, hey, had she not opened the door for me to be on this show, had God not used her, he would have used somebody else. But we're not talking about somebody else right now. We're talking about her. Just like I could say God could have used somebody else for me to get on radio if he had not used Wonderland. But no, he used Wonderland. So I'm appreciative. And I can go back and say thank you for a person who helped me walk into my destiny. And I think it's a sorry person that cannot show appreciation to whom appreciation is due. Because even though I don't know what those folks made on the show, but if you made $1,000, that's $1,000 that you didn't have had you not been on the show. So I haven't seen it or heard it from anybody that says, you know, Melody, I do appreciate you for the opportunity. Thank you for opening up this door, for getting us, you know, where we are, getting us known. Because I know a lot of people use it now. They go on game shows and stuff, and they, you know, let people know I'm from Love and Marriage Huntsville. However, had it not been for that opportunity given to you by Melody, you would not have been able to even say that. So I just want to see, I want to see a live, or I want to hear of a phone call, and I hope she lets me know. If she does, of course, I ain't going to come back and say, oh, yeah, they said it, unless she gives me permission. But I want to hear some people come back and say, you know what, I really appreciate you. Now that you're off the show, you know, I wanted you to know that I hate you not on the show, but I do thank you for creating a show to give me the opportunity and the space to do what I did when I, you know, while I was there. So this is all I wanted to talk about, was just, you know, let my sister know that I appreciate her, if nobody else does, that have appeared on the show, for the opportunity, you know, for her just creating a show, giving us an opportunity to be seen on a show. That's all. Somebody said they don't care. And they hold on, wait a minute. Let me go back and read that. I saw something. I want to make sure I get it all because it said they don't care, Marcus, and then something. I missed that one part. Oh, okay. They think they made it. Okay, that's what I was looking for. I thought it said they made it. No, they think they made it. But you can be on radio for 10 years and everybody know your name. And you go in a restaurant and they don't even see your face, but they hear your voice. And they turn around and say, "You the guy from the radio." Yeah, because you're present at that time. I go in a restaurant now and I talk. I don't hear nobody now saying, "Oh, I know your voice. I know your voice. You the guy from the radio." I don't get that anymore. So your face is known right now because a show is on TV. But 5 years from now, ain't nobody gonna probably know who you are because haven't been on radio since 2007. That's been 17 years. Don't nobody know me anymore from radio. Well, church people who really was into gospel back then, they do. And they talk about how good the show was and how much they missed it, da, 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 da. But typically, other people don't. You got kids that were 15 then. They're what, 34 now. They don't know nothing about me. So you might be known right now because you were on the show. If you're not going to continue to do something, nobody's going to know you anyway. And from what it appears, I don't see too much going on once you leave the show that is going to make people remember who you are anyway. So that's that. But, I just think that anytime somebody do something for you, you should always show your appreciation. That's just how I am. And I show my appreciation, or at least let them know. And the more I let them know that I appreciate them, God always open the door and bring something else back where I can receive another type of blessing and maybe in a different area. So, I mean, that's just how it works. Even some people that I don't even care for anymore, they have opened up, they've done some things for me that were good. I acknowledge. And I let them know that I appreciate them for what they did. Even my friends, they know if you buy me something to eat, we got to eat and you pay for it. I'm going to let you know that I appreciate it because you didn't have to do it. You could have used that money on something else, but you blessed me. So, hey, I want you to know I thank you. So that's it. So just be thankful. Let people know that you appreciate whatever it is that they've done for you in whatever area. Because people don't have to do nothing for you. And always, I'm getting deep all of a sudden, but always let God know how much you appreciate him for what he's done too, because he really don't have to bless you. But let him know how much you appreciate what he's done. And I promise he's going to always continue to give you even more. And he's going to even open up more doors. So, but I'm coming back because I do got a couple other things that I want to talk about eventually. Hit a couple of little areas that I think that I want to talk about. And I'll just leave it at that. So, yeah, I'm reading some of these comments. Yeah, that's true. She's done a lot. She's done a lot. And I would, and I'll even say, because she was married at the time, I'll say even, and that's just how I am. She was married, her and he, maybe they, worked together at the time to make things happen. So hats off to him for even as a spouse at the time to say, yeah, babe, go do what you're going to do, make it happen. So I'll just say thank you for that. Anyway, all right, guys, you guys have a wonderful Saturday. And I'll do the same. I guess I'll go to somewhere where I can get some eggs for breakfast with it, and I charge him an extra 50 cents per egg. That's it. What they say, go down in the comments and let me see what you guys got to say. I'm going to stay on for about 5 more minutes and read some of these comments. Sonny, let her know. Well, it's Sonny, Sonny seems, you have to look at the heart of people too. I don't know Sonny at all. I met her once, maybe when she was producing, I met her. I can't even remember, but I met her once. And I really don't know her, but if you look at the people that are on the show, look at how they live, how they talk, how they discuss things. And a lot of times if you have a little bit of spirituality or it's another word I want to use, it just slipped my mind. you can kind of pick up on a person's heart. You really can. No matter how shady a person get or low a person get, it's always still going to be some kind of good in that person that's going to come out, and you can look at them and say, well, you know what, they do have a good heart. They just being demonic possessed right now. So I don't really know too much about the people on the show because I haven't really been around them a lot. But just from what I see and the nastiness that comes across, it's some. I don't know what those hearts are like, and all I can do is pray for them. And they're too busy trying to become power couples. I don't really, and I look and I don't even see that. Because if you are a true power couple, you don't have to try to be one. It's just going to automatically happen. It's just the way it is. You will just be that couple. You don't have to try to be anything in life. Just do what you do and do the best at what you do. And the title and all that stuff, that'll come with the territory. So I don't go on a job saying I'm going to go in and I'm going to try to be, I'm going to become the CEO. No, just do the best at your job and the promotion will come from above, not from man. So when I look at these people, some of the people on the show, it's interesting. And I'm going to talk about that another day, I'll talk about that another day. Anyway, but that's about it for me. You guys enjoy yourselves. Thank you for supporting my sister and supporting me, because I hear a lot of times from you guys different comments that you've made, and you've always stood by me and been down for me, and I appreciate it. That's really it. About to sign on off of here. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I will be back because I do have something else that I want to talk about eventually. I just have to be in the mood to talk about that kind of stuff. But enjoy your Saturdays, and I'll talk to y'all later.